1 week away, and we continue to give you our best bets and season predictions for each and every team. So let's dive into the Southwest Division right now. Thank you everybody for joining us at Grandstand Bettors. I'm Matt from grandstandbettors.com. Go to our website, check us out, become part of our family, but at the very least, hit the subscribe button, give us a like. We continue to give you all free picks, free plays, free predictions, and without further ado, let's get into the Southwest Division. And we're going to start with a team that's going to end up in last, and that is going to be the San Antonio Spurs. 32-39 last year. I think they squeaked into the bubble, but they didn't make it any farther into the play-in game or anything like that. To be honest with you, it's got to be Pop's last year or his last hurrah. This team is awful. They did not go get anybody. They drafted one person, Devin Vassell out of Florida State University. Great wing defender, off the ball guy, 41% from three. He was pretty good there. 56% field goal percentage. The only problem with him is he can't create offense on his own. So you bring him in and you have DeRozan and Aldridge and Gay and even Trey Lyles. Those are good core players, but they really need 2 or 3 guys that can help this guy create offense. DeRozan, he's going to be trade bait. They're going to get rid of him at the deadline. It's just not going to work out. They need to get some better people in there. And really, Aldridge and Rudy Gay, those guys are old, man. Rudy Gay, yeah, he's a 10-5 guy, but he's getting up there. Aldridge, he's 35 years old, 3-point shooter, 38%. He still does well. But this team, they don't have it. They're too old. They don't have any pieces. They're 30-1 to win this division, and that's a huge number for a division. 125-1 to win the West, 300-1 to win the NBA, and their over-under is set at 29.5. I'm going to tell you right now, that is a huge over with 72 games on the schedule this year. Take the under 29.5 games for the San Antonio Spurs. So right in front of them in the standings, and this is going to surprise everyone, it's going to be the Houston Rockets. They're 44-28 last year, 4th in the West, and they lost to the Lakers 4-1. And you're like, whoa, how did they drop down to 4th in this division? Well, some teams got better, and they got worse, to be honest with you. Steven Silas is coming in to coach them. Going to be honest with you, this guy knows how to get most out of his guards. He has worked with Baron Davis, Kemba Walker, Seth Curry, and Luka Doncic. He's a very high, efficient offensive guy. He's going to have them up and down the court. There's going to be a ton of points for the Rockets and their opponents for the lack of defense. Their huge acquisition in the offseason, we all know, was John Wall with the Westbrook trade. He hasn't played in 2 years, though. That's unreal. When he did play his full season a couple years ago, he was a 23-10 guy. They also brought in Christian Wood, who's a talented big. And through the draft, they got Kenny Martin Jr. Ironically, Kenny Martin Jr., son of Kenny Martin, didn't go to college to play. He went to the IMG Academy. He was 19-8 with 70% from the floor, so he was pretty good. That brings some nice components in with their core players. House, PJ Tucker, who's actually going to move to the forward position this year, and Eric Gordon. But they had some key losses, Westbrook being one of them. And I know Westbrook and Wall are essentially just the same player. Problem is, Wall hasn't played in a while, and I don't think he has got the guys around him to make him better, where Westbrook did. You got Harden, obviously, is still there, but they lost Green, Rivers, and Covington. Those are big role players that they lost, and they really didn't fill those spots. They are going with a more traditional team build. They've been small in the past, and now they kind of have some bigs, and they're looking to spread the floor more. So it's going to be an interesting team to watch. But the whole thing is going to be, are they going to be bad because Harden keeps asking for a trade each and every day? He is a diva, and I'm going to be honest with you. His diva mentality is going to keep this team from being in the top 3. They are 480 to win the Southwest, 27-1 to win the West, 75-1 to win the NBA, and their over-under is at 34.5. Again, this team's not going to do well. Take the under on this. 34.5 is a lot. That's basically just under a 500 season coming up. So the Rockets are going to take a huge step back, and Silas is probably going to have them running all over the court, where they should probably slow down with some of those bigs. So under 30-4.5 with the Houston Rockets. Just above them, New Orleans Pelicans, 30-42 last year. They did make it into the bubble, but again, they didn't make it in any farther than that. They have a new head coach, a guy we've seen before, Stan Van Gundy, and this guy is very defensive-minded, and he's already let people know that defense is going to be the system this year. They went and they added Steve Adams, and guess what he does? Plays defense. Great rebounder, rim defender. They also got Eric Bledsoe from the Bucks. What does he do? Two-time All-NBA defensive team player? Yeah, so that's defensive-minded again. Kira Lewis Jr., quick guy off the ball. They got him in the draft. He'll complement and back up Favors. Zion is the team guy. That's who they're going to really build around. Last year, he gave us a peek. He's been injury-prone, but to be honest, with him and Ball and Ingram and Redick and Jackson Hayes, and I'm sorry, Favors isn't on the team anymore. He did go back to the Utah Jazz. And Drew Holiday got traded away as well. But they have a good core team there. They lost Holiday, as I mentioned, Favors, Etwan Moore. Those are some role players that they kind of fill the spots with Eric Bledsoe and Steve Adams. They went more defensively and got rid of some offensive players. So it'll be an interesting mix. I think they're a young team, and I don't think they're good enough to beat the two teams that we have going in front of them, even though the bookmakers actually think they're better than our next team. They have the Pelicans 6-1 to win this division. That's a nice price you can get on them, but we don't think it's granted. 28-1 to win the West and 70-1 to win NBA. Their over-unders at 36.5. Now, we are going to take the over here. This team's going to be stacked. You're going to see 1, 2, and 3. They're all right there, with one being just probably that much better than the other two. But over 36.5, you're looking at a winning season. I think the Pelicans could sneak up and become an 8 seed if Zion can stay healthy and Ball becomes an even better player and a shooter that he should be. So New Orleans Pelicans over 36.5. In this 2 spot in this division, very surprising for a lot of people to hear, it's going to be the Memphis Grizzlies. They were 34-39. They went into the bubble. They lost in the play-in game to Portland. It wasn't great. They have a great core team and young. They got Morant, they got Brooks, Anderson, Jackson, Jonas, Grayson Allen's there, Deng, Winslow. Wow, so many great pieces. They did have a quiet offseason. They did draft Desmond Bane out of TCU. The guy was 16-6, solid defensive player. Xavier Tillman out of Michigan State. This guy also is going to be a good defensive communicator on the defensive end. He's mature too. And then you got Mario Herenzonga, and that guy is just going to be a great role player coming off the bench for them. Morant and Jackson, that is the team, and that's what they're building around. Jackson is a huge big man for them. He's a shot blocker. He's versatile on the defensive end. He can shoot threes. He takes about 6.5 per game. But what about his health? His health has been an issue. Can he stay healthy? And that's going to be the huge question mark on how good this team can be. Morant gave us such a great rookie season. Basically 31 points per game, in 31 minutes, 31 minutes per game, he had 18 points, 7 rebounds. The Southwest Division has him at 11-1. That's a great odds, I think. West 60, NBA 75-1. Over under here is at 30.5. That's super low. We got him beating out the Pelicans, and we just took the Pelicans over 36.5. You better believe the value bet here is Memphis over 30.5. And that leaves one last team, and that is the Dallas Mavericks. They are by far the better team of this division. They were 43-32. We all know who leads this team, and the reins were given, and it's Doncic. Rookie of the year, he did better than everybody. He had a Rookie of the Year season. Then he did better than expected last season in his sophomore year. 28, 9, and 8. This guy's going to be an MVP candidate. He had 17 triple-doubles that led the NBA last year. He comes back with a great core group. Porzingis, who's still kind of rehabbing. He'll join them probably in January, February. They also have Finley Smith, Cauley Stein, Cleaver, Hardaway, and then they added Josh Green from Arizona, who's a 3-and-D kind of guy. Guy shoots 36% from 3. Josh Richardson, defensive-minded free agent that they signed, 36 from 3 as well. And then James Johnson, also 36% from three-point range. So this team's going to spread the floor. It's kind of small. That's what worries me about their team. They're kind of small compared to some other teams. They lost Curry, Jackson, J.J. Barrera, Kid Gilchrist, and Courtney Lee. Some role players, they filled those spots. They're going to be okay. The only thing that worries me is they're too small against some of these bigger teams. To win the Southwest, they're actually minus 200. That's an awful price. I'm not laying 200, especially because I think Memphis and New Orleans have gotten better in this division. To win the West, they are 11-1. To win the NBA championship, they're 22-1. And their over-under is going to be at 42.5 wins for the season. What I like here is actually the NBA championship. You're getting them at 22-1. And let's be honest, the 3 teams that are going to have a chance to win the NBA championship from the West are going to be your Lakers, your Clippers, and probably the Mavs. So they're going to have to go through one of them, if not both, on the way to a championship. But I do like how they play. I like their style of play. And hey, 22-1 is a good value on the third probably best team in the West, considering they're probably better than any team in the East. So that's all we have for the Southwest Division. Just remember, the Spurs at 5, they are not good at all. You have the Houston Rockets, who really took a step back at 4. 3, New Orleans Pelicans. 2, Memphis Grizzlies. And the winner of the Southwest is going to be the Dallas Mavericks. It's going to be a fun and exciting NBA season. We are so happy that they got it started before Christmas. If you're looking for any of our other division breakdowns, just click right up there. We have them all for all 6 divisions. And make sure that you click on our All-NBA team rankings for the season, where we give you our predictions on where each team will finish, our champion, and what the best bet to take on the NBA championship this year will be. So as always, sit back, relax, enjoy Christmas Day. 5 games that are going to be great. Enjoy. And as always, sit back, relax. Let us do the work while you do the winning.